I'm going to let you in on a little secret, especially when doing this review. As a franchise, I cannot stand Pilotwings. I don't know why. I really don't. Yeah, it was a launch title for the Super Nintendo, and a key one as well. It was the first one, I suppose, really, and I know you can add Super Mario World to this, but hear me out. It is the first one that showcases and promotes Mode 7 as a feature. And it's used throughout the entire title with various challenges and scope and the whole design and the game around it. It tests the player. It became a hit purely by trying to be different to anything else that the rivals were producing at the same time. And while visually it looks gorgeous on a Super Nintendo, on a CRT, maybe that was one of the issues. Do explain why people enjoyed this on launch, and why it had such a hype it did, and why it's still remembered as a title in the SNES's era. It's one of those you had to be there moments. You had to be there really at the time of release. The game nowadays is horribly outdated by any standard, and that's really due to the engine, partly due to the hardware, and also I think really thanks to the likes of Wii Sports and many others, Wii Sports Resort, there's no real depth to the game once you've tried out the various games. It's a game that sells you an adventure, if I can call it that, through trying 3D before 3D was really a commercially available and mass market thing. I know there were 3D games before this, but this is the first push real on consoles to market it as such. Playing it now as you do, you notice little things like controls. They're responsive, but they don't give a true 360 flow of movement, despite how good your skills are on the D-pad. There's also a lack of depth, and that's really hampered by, I suppose, the choice of Mode 7, and I suppose really the fact you're looking at sprite graphics, trying to judge speed and distance, which in a polygon world is easy. Yet here it's more of a game of chance that you're hitting the right area at the right speed and velocity, where timings and watching counters fall down are more of the aim of the day rather than taking a visual approach to it. I can't. Even going down the skydiving events on this, it's still, if anything was evident that there was a difficulty spike, it's the technical prowess of being able to pull one of those off. If you're an experienced player with this game, you'll pull off these tricks relatively easy. There's a certain knack to it. But if you're coming back to this game after a decade or two away, picking up the controller and trying to jump back in, it just shows how steep there was for a learning curve in terms of the judgment and control that you would have to face to start becoming better at this. And that's not to discount the game as in a whole. Its various amount of challenges are brilliant, and as a package to give you this skill and experience of flight of airtime at a time when the closest rival really was your likes of Afterburner and flight management sims on the PCs. It went some way to make that genre fun. You see, the flying the light plane, utilising the jetpack, those sections are fun. It's just At the time when it got released, it could have been more. If it had not been released as part of the launch set, if it had been worked on for a further year and released at the time when the Mega CD Virtual Racing was coming out, so you had the likes of Sylphid, Star Fox that already pushed itself through, I think we would have seen more. We could have seen awards, targets, score targets. There could have been unlockable challenges, depth of scenery in a polygon way, possibly even a few cameos thanks to the knowledge that Nintendo would have had over which characters were valid IP to help bolster sales. Perhaps even a more adept way of control using a 3D joystick, similar to the Saturn pad, or just use an arcade control style. To summarise this, Pilotwings for the SNES really falls down as a 3 out of 5. It's mediocre. As a launch title, great. As a title nowadays, there is better. You only have to look at the 3DS revamp and sequel. You only have to look at Wii Sports Resort to have an idea of where this situation and where this system went. For me, there is no need to revisit Pilotwings on the SNES when sequels can produce the same, so much better. For more reviews like this, check out that retrovideogamer.com for the latest news, reviews, retro footage, retro reviews, and everything else in between. Until then, like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.